Why was this movie 2 hours?
Why was this movie made? I'll take it a step further.
That's a good question.
Did you know that when you put on a ghost face costume, you become 8.5 feet tall? No matter what your actual...
and strong as fuck.
No matter what your human form is, you just get these supernatural abilities in height. Yeah.
I read about that.
Hello.
Let's play a game.
You know you're like the 10th guy to try this, right? It never works out for the dipshit in the mask.
Maybe. But there's never been one like me, Gale.
I've never really been a fan of Scream in general, I think. Maybe the first one, and then after that, it was like, I couldn't really get in. It was just it felt too cheesy.
Well, the early 2000s was like the revival of like the slasher genre, right?
Yeah.
Scream, made by horror icon Wes Craven, was very much a homage to Halloween, right?
Yeah.
So much so that in one of the characters in the film, Randy, he's like a huge Halloween fan.
Right, yeah.
And he's trying to figure out how to survive. Like, it's like a very meta thing. Like, he's talking about, like, he's following the rules of a horror movie, of a slasher film for him and his friends to survive. And that theme has carried through the entire series. They took that movie thing and ran with it, right? This one has the worst killer motivation in any of them. It is when they revealed it. Okay, so here's the thing about me. I've talked about this before. Like, I'm pretty good at figuring out, and it's not that difficult, but I'm pretty good at like early on in films figuring out like who the killer is, why they're doing it.
Yeah.
This movie took me for a loop because it was so bad. Let's set up the movie, right? So this is like a year after Scream 5. They're in New York. And they're going to college. Tara's sort of living her best life, kind of trying to forget that she almost got murdered a year ago. And her sister Sam kind of followed her like, yo, like, how are you just pretending like we weren't almost murdered?
Right.
Of course, people start getting picked off. The phone call starts, begin happening. The movie opens up with a killing, right? As Scream movies often do. And it's our homegirl, Samara Weaving. She's a film professor or some shit, film theory. I don't know what she's doing.
Slashers specifically.
Yeah. And if there's a slasher course, I'd go back to college right now because I would ace that class, right?
Yeah, you should teach it.
I should teach it. Get me a job at a college. Harvard, where you at? There's this like weird conspiracy theory going around the internet that Sam actually committed the killings or some shit. But clearly they're trying to build off of like all this, QAnon nonsense that goes on in real life. But
for sure. Yeah.
Very poorly, man. Yeah, and it's just like a pretty standard like, killings start happening. Oh, they get chased. Oh, here's the killer. The idea to take this movie out of like small town Woodsboro, wherever the fuck that is, and put it into Manhattan is, as a New Yorker, like one of the dumbest decisions ever, because from the first 2 seconds of the movie, you're like, oh, this would never happen in New York. I mean, yeah, I'm sure people get killed and mugged in alleys all the time, but it's just, there's very few places in Manhattan where there's just no one around to witness a killing, like a brutal murder in an alley.
In a downtown, like outside restaurants.
Yeah,
there's no way.
Like peak dinner time, like multiple restaurants, like there's just no chance.
Oh my God.
And the movie takes place actually on Halloween, believe it or not, which means that everybody's running around in ghost face masks. So you don't know who the actual killer is.
The classic, yeah.
And really just the whole time I'm like, man, none of this would happen in Manhattan, particularly the scene at the little bodega, right?
Man had a shotgun.
The fact that at like just 8 o'clock at night in Manhattan, like 2 girls go running into a store in panic. And then the killer chases them in, kills everyone in the store.
There's no cops in sight.
Well, the cops do show up. That's what I was laughing.
Late as fuck.
I know they came like 20 minutes later, like in the course of the scene. There's NYPD on like every corner in the city. This guy's the worst actor alive, by the way. Dermot Mulroney. He he was in like My Best Friend's Wedding. He was in Young Guns.
Yeah.
Like he's been in some movies. He was awful in this movie.
It was bad.
Like the dialogue he was given was really bad. Because you asked earlier, was anybody really good in this movie? The answer is no.
It was so bad.
I do think Jenna Ortega wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
But the dialogue was terrible, right?
It really was, yeah.
I don't think Jenna Ortega was that bad. I don't think Jasmine Savoy Brown was bad. She's like the new Randy, like the obsessed horror movie person who's like figuring out how to survive.
Yeah, right.
She's from that show Yellow Jackets. I actually think she's pretty good actress. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, she was pretty good. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah.
Speaking on like the lore and stuff, it's like literally everything in these 6 movies is like tied back to the original with Sidney Prescott.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
now, even our 2 main characters, Tara and Sam. I don't even understand. I must have missed this in Scream 5, or I don't remember it. But like Billy Loomis, the killer in the original, like how is he the father of Sam? He died in high school.
You don't need to know that. You just need to know.
I
that
need to know
is.
this. No, I need to know this.
He
After
was
her,
fucking. What do you mean? Babies happen. Yeah.
okay, well, sure. And she's like visited all the time by like his ghost or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Force ghost, 80-year-old Skeet Ulrich with like wrinkles under his eyes and shit. Like, kid died when he was like 18. Give him like,
Yeah,
try to
what the
make
fuck?
him look young, please.
Yeah, he's collecting evidence from like the lockup and shit, and so he can make this crazy shrine.
Yeah, there's this like,
What the fuck?
they buy out this theater in New York that's just like a shrine to all the ghost faces that came before. And it's all from
Bro,
like,
they even had the TV that they dropped on the other guys. Why do you have that?
it's all stolen evidence and shit that they just like, it was just the dumbest thing. Now, Scream 5 was bad. I watched it with Dusty a while back and we both,
Was it?
It was so bad. So I didn't expect much for this one,
Yeah.
but I got fooled because it's got good ratings. It's got a 6.8
why
on
does it?
IMDb. And when this came out, people were like raving about it. I was reading it. It's like, oh, Scream 6 is like a new direction for the franchise and this. What the fuck are people talking about?
How is it a new direction even? It's the same minuscule connection,
I have no
and
idea.
they just keep threading it to the next one.
I'm sorry if my little synopsis didn't make any sense to anybody listening, but the movie makes no sense. So just take it with a grain
It
of
really
salt.
doesn't,
It's a
bro.
typical Scream movie. Like people get phone calls, people start dying. Actually, people don't start dying because half of the people that got killed in this movie didn't actually die.
Bro, so many people got stabbed viciously and just lived.
Quinn was one of our first kills. That was
Yeah.
fake. She lived.
Yep.
Courtney Cox is Gail Weathers, who, again, okay, let me just say something real quick. I want to preface this by saying I don't look down on people who get cosmetic surgery at all. I don't think there's anything
Yeah.
wrong with it. Nothing at all.
Sure. Yeah.
But at least look like a human being. Her fucking, like, her lips, this is what she looks like.
Bro.
That's going to be the
I didn't
thumbnail,
feel-
by the way. That's what she looks
I
like.
felt like she aged so crazily.
Well, because she has work done. That's not good work. Like,
Yeah.
in my mind, like again, you want to look like whatever the fuck you want to look like, fine. But
Mhm.
it's not my
Yeah.
business. But, you know, I'm a less is more kind of guy.
Yeah.
You want to like subtly do that shit. Her shit's not
Yeah, you
subtle
don't
at all.
want to go full Kardashian type shit, bro.
Like her lips are like fully stretched across her face. It's bizarre looking.
yeah.
When she's delivering her dialogue, it's like her mouth isn't even moving. It's like it's almost
like,
scary. So Courtney Cox, she's back as Gail Weathers, like absolutely pointless in the movie. No, zero purpose for her being in the movie, other than it's like, hey, look, it's Courtney Cox from the older ones.
Yep.
She gets stabbed, doesn't die. Our boy Chad gets stabbed like 38 times by 2 people, just like literally Drax the Destroyering his ass. And he's just magically alive at the end
He
of the
got
movie.
sandwiched, bro.
Yeah.
He's just ate
He's
that
alive.
shit.
Nobody really even died. None of the main characters, let's put it that way, none of the core 4, they call them. And maybe that was like some weird joke they thought of in the writer's room. Like, hey, you know, it'd be funny if like the core characters don't die because those are the rules of like, they really like went heavy on like the rules of sequels and reboots. It's so convoluted and stupid.
Yep.
I think they just need to end like the franchise.
Yeah, just let it go.
Because you know what? Like you said, you didn't really like the first one that much. Okay. I started saying it before. The first one was like part of the new age of like slasher films. Very much an homage to Halloween. Halloween was very much an homage to Psycho. And it was like kind of
Yeah.
passing the torch. And it was cool. Like the meta stuff about horror films was like kind of cool and interesting because it was fresh. It hadn't been done before.
yeah.
And like the story was actually like kind of good. It wasn't that bad for a slasher movie. But
Right.
now, man, I mean, they've all been bad ever since. And like so uncreative. Why is everything tied to the first one? Like, that's dumb.
It's the bloodline keeps going.
You
The
could make a
revenge.
Scream movie just that has a copycat killer. Like, that's a perfectly
Yeah,
plausible
it doesn't have
plot.
to be the cousin
Yeah.
twice removed.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. The cousins,
enough, dude.
sisters, brothers, uncles, mother's aunt, who was a teacher at the college Sydney worked at. They're out of gas with this. Think it's time to put it to bed, Marvin, you know?
Yeah,
Like-
I agree, dude.
Like, why do we need more Scream films?
We don't.
Especially if you're
It
going to give us
served
some
its
shit like
purpose.
this.
Yeah,
It's just not a good movie all around. There's not even much to talk about. We even like covered everything that's
it's
in the
not.
movie.
Yeah, because they're like all the same for
And
the
it's-
most part.
And it's 2 hours and 2 minutes. Like, why was it that long? This is like trying to build this weird like sister dynamic that I don't give a fuck about, that didn't even work because I don't give a fuck about any of the characters. I don't
You
feel
don't
bad.
at all.
I don't feel bad for Sam. I don't feel bad for Tara. And then they, at the end, they did this like weird Halloween 4 thing where Sam like may or may not be the next killer.
Because she's like looking at the mask, like contemplating, like, oh, next.
The ghost of Billy is like massaging her, like kill, kill, kill. I try to look for good things in movies. There's not a thing about this movie that I thought was good or that I liked, really, honestly. It wasn't entertaining. I was looking at my phone more than watching the movie half the time. The story made no sense. Well, it made sense. It was just stupid. The setting was stupid. The killer was stupid. Their motivation was stupid. The characters are stupid.
Yeah.
Everybody's stupid in this movie. Even the person, even the chick that like supposedly is a horror genre expert. Like she's dumb. They do this thing at one point in the movie where like she's giving the pep talk. She's like, all right, we're in a requel and these are the rules. Everything, the kills are going to be amped up. It could be anybody. None of us, none of the core characters are safe. Everybody's a suspect.
So let's just immediately split up.
I hated this movie. Again, it's got a 6.8 on IMDb. This is like a 4 for me.
Yeah.
Like very low.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not one redeeming quality of it. Like really. They even tried, they go so hard to like call back to the original films. They even have the song from the original one, like randomly, the my red right hand, you know, the bump, bump, bump. Like it was just jammed in at this random point in the movie.
Good old forced nostalgia.
Yeah.
Nothing like it. I give this like a 5 or something.
Okay.
It's like not even worth rating. It's like not even.
No, it's not actually even worth rating. You're right.
It's not even worth rating.
I don't give it a 4. I take that back. You're right. It's not even worth giving it a rating. It's not worth it.
I guess I'll give it a 5. Like, I don't know. Who cares?
You've seen it here, folks. A harsh language first. We just cannot even rate it.
Just let it die.
I think so. Like I said, I think it's time.